Welcome to the New Leaf Wellness Podcast. My name's KP.
My name is Air. Swadika.
Swadika. How are you?
I'm very good. How are you?
I'm really good. We're going to do something a little different today. We're going to respond to a celebrity treatment of COVID-19. Joe Rogan.
Yes, from a wellness perspective.
Yeah, we're going to come from a wellness perspective. Look at how he treated himself for COVID-19. And as one of the reports said, Rogan has created a firestorm in the media, which is kind of interesting. The guy's got about 17 million followers on Instagram. He's got, I think it's the #1 podcast in the world. He licensed his podcast to Spotify for $100 million. And he has some of the biggest names on the planet featuring on his podcast. So he knows what he's doing. If you don't know who Joe Rogan is, he started out as a comedian in the United States. And then he went on to, and a lot of people know him from, worldwide from his UFC commentary. He's a commentator for the UFC Ultimate Fighting. He's a fit guy. He's 54 years of age. He lives in Austin, Texas. He's married with a couple of kids, I think. And he's a pretty all-round bloke, like good guy, truck driving kind of dude.
Yeah, I known him first from the show called Fear Factor. Been around since 2001, and then I think it's ended in 2006.
Yeah, I've never seen him on anything other than
and haven't followed
UFC.
him much since then. Really.
Right. Yeah, I do watch his podcasts sometimes. If I like the guest or the topic.
Yeah, I guess it's quite big in the US.
Yeah. You can be, massive in the US and not known outside the US.
The population there is just so big, so.
Exactly. So Joe Rogan released a video on, I think it was on Instagram on last Wednesday.
Yeah, because
so it's a few
controversy
days ago.
Everywhere.
Yeah, this thing blew up everywhere. It's a short video. It's only about a minute and a half. We've edited out some of the clips because we've taken out the names of the drugs. But let's have a look at what he said.
So I got back from the road Saturday night, feeling very weary. I had a headache and I just felt run down. And just to be cautious, I separated from my family, slept in a different part of the house. And throughout the night, I got fevers and sweats, and I knew what was going on. So I got up in the morning, got tested, and turns out I got COVID. So we immediately threw the kitchen sink at it, all kinds of meds. And I also got an NAD drip and a vitamin drip, and I did that 3 days in a row. And so here we are on Wednesday, and I feel great. I really only had one bad day. Sunday sucked, but Monday was better. Tuesday felt better than Monday, and today I feel good. A wonderful, heartfelt thank you to modern medicine for pulling me out of this so quickly and easily.
Wow, there you go. The kitchen sink. He got sick, and if you want to watch the full clip, and we advise you to do because this is going to make a little bit more sense, go to his Instagram page and have a look at it because it mentions the drugs in the Instagram page.
Yes.
And, as a lot of the media said, he's blown up in the media, which is exactly what he got, he got a lot of publicity about over getting COVID-19. I haven't seen anyone get as much publicity, anyone, even bigger celebrities than him, blow up like Joe Rogan did, only because of the drugs that he used to treat, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first one, we can't mention by name, but it is an antibody treatment, and it treats the white blood cells, which treat infection.
Yes, so when you get virus in the body naturally going to produce more white blood cell anyway, right? Especially when you're healthy, you're very strong, the body will be able to fight naturally. So I'm not sure why he will go ahead and straight and to do that.
I would have liked to have seen a positive result. I would have liked to have seen some proof of a positive result. I'm not saying that it's fake. I'm just saying that it would have been nice for someone like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah, exactly. Because he's just like, it's his life. It's all about create content.
Right.
It's a big content, and he already thought that he had it. It means he assumed he had it. He would have all the antigen kit and things like that, or the machine that he produced that the result after undetected prior before that and the start?
Yeah, this is the interesting thing. This video came out on Wednesday. He said he felt really bad on Sunday.
And he tested himself positive on Monday.
He's Joe Rogan. He's probably got a team of physicians and he's probably got a little hospital at home, you know. But he felt sick on Sunday, tested positive on Monday, released the video on the Wednesday telling us how he treated it himself. And then on Friday, he released just the photo of the machine saying no trace of COVID-19. So he went from testing positive on Monday to testing negative on Friday. 5 days.
Exactly. The fastest recovery, the fastest to...
in the history of the world.
Get rid of the COVID trace in your body, ever.
I remember when COVID-19 first started here in Thailand, there was a celebrity couple in Bangkok and they kept testing positive. They spent 35 days in hospital, right?
They spent 35 days in hospital because back then it's just so new. They did not release the people at 14 days and then do home quarantine for the next 14 days, what they do now. They actually keep testing you till the test come out negative.
One of the other drugs he used is an anti-parasitic, and it's sometimes used in cattle, horses and animals, and you can buy it at livestock places.
How crazy is that?
Pretty interesting. They did do some experiments on humans, and it has some effect on humans, but the way they use it for humans is more for rosacea, you know, that rosy cheeks thing. So it's sort of it's kind of weird. I mean, why do you think he would have used sort of an anti-parasitic like that?
Exactly. It's just like, I think he aimed for the side effect of certain drug. They're going to treat certain thing from this COVID.
Yeah.
Which is very unusual.
So that anti-parasitic is approved for, like you were saying last night, we were talking about this, the Hail Mary.
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
if you're on your deathbed, you're just about to die from COVID-19, the World Health Organization suggests you take this.
Okay, if you don't do this, you're going to die, so take it.
Take it, and let's see what happens.
Yes, exactly.
It's a little bit like that. He took that.
Yeah.
You know, this is a 54-year-old guy who's really quite healthy.
Yes.
He takes all sorts of, like, he's a big supplement guy. I remember one comedian was talking about him a few years ago and he said, Joe Rogan, he's a pill slinger, meaning he pushes supplements in his show. And he used to do that a lot.
Advertises.
Advertises stuff in his show. So he's not, it's not uncomfortable for him to take a lot of stuff. You know, he uses himself probably as a bit of a guinea pig, I guess. Why would you go from something like an antibody to a anti-parasitic, and then the third drug was an antibiotic?
Yeah,
why would you take an antibiotic for a virus?
Then again, that's why we're doing this podcast, because we said like, what he was thinking?
Yeah.
It's just so crazy. The response for this, that he's willing to take these drugs, it like he got like flesh-eating disease or Ebola, or just like been tested for HIV positive. Like he just like so crazy to want to treat it so quickly. If not, he's going to die, which is not at all, because now, almost 2 years, we live with this COVID for almost 2 years now, and we see that people recover left, right, and center. The number is proven already. If you are healthy and strong, it's 99.6% survival rate.
And he was a healthy guy, so
exactly.
It just doesn't make sense. And this particular drug is about ammonia. It treats ammonia and some STDs, like sexually transmitted diseases, as a sort of like a side thing. But it's a bacterial infection. That's its main treatment.
Yes.
That's kind of...
And to me, it's like he releases a few minutes video, and most of the video is all about these drugs. Why? He just come out and said, I got COVID, and they get test positive on this day, that day. I treat some drug, and they get better. But he just mentioned these drugs by name. For what purpose?
And the fourth drug he mentioned was a corticosteroid.
Yes.
I mean, you take a steroid if you want to, like you said, buy time, right?
Yeah, buy time. You know, if you see Dr. House series,
Yes.
You hear this drug
It's the go-to
all the
drug,
time.
yeah.
When Dr. House need to buy time, you're not sure what happened to this patient.
Yeah.
Take these drugs, and when they go ahead and
That's
do
right.
more research and testing some more.
Yeah.
That's what this drug is all about.
It's an anti-inflammatory as well. So that kind of makes sense. Anti-inflammatory, inflame, upper respiratory kind of thing. But why do you reckon he would have had a physician saying, take this. Joe Rogan wouldn't have gone to a cupboard and gone, oh, well, I got this, let's take it.
I doubted that the physician or the doctor willing to prescribe him this. And when the doctor prescribe him this, they have to be responsible for this radical kind of
response.
Yeah, response.
Maybe that's what they were going for.
Yeah, exactly.
Seriously, he doesn't seem like the kind of guy that's going to go, oh my God, I got COVID. Let's grab whatever we can. I'm a rich guy. Let's just do all this.
And it would make more sense if it just at the beginning of COVID, like 2 years ago, and it's so new, people don't know what's going on. It kind of make more sense that like, okay, we don't know yet.
If it was 2 years ago, it'd make more
exactly.
sense. Oh, yeah, okay. No, I get that.
Even then, but it will make more sense than now for sure.
Yeah, so many of his guests, on his podcast have already had COVID, and he talks to them about, so what was it like? And they're going, oh, cool, I was sick for a couple of days, and then I was okay. So he knows.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, he's not a silly guy, right? Joe Rogan's become more intelligent over the years as he's spoken to more people. I think his guests have rubbed off on him. He's a smart guy. He's got a really amazing general knowledge of things.
Oh, for sure. You talk about, you do things all the time, and you get to meet so many interesting people to your show. You're going to learn a lot from other people in other careers as well.
Yeah, at the end of his rave, he was talking about two things that we do.
Yeah, exactly. Which is so contradicted with the first four medicine. And so like, you just choose to do this, you will get the same result already. You're going to feel much, much better.
We're not saying this is a COVID-19 treatment at all. This is more of a building up your immune system so that when you do get it, I mean, probably everyone on the planet's going to end up with COVID-19 at some point, right? So when you do actually get COVID, you're going to be just fine.
Yeah, exactly. Which is NAD drip and the IV drip.
Okay, so IV, intravenous vitamin drips, I get all the time.
Yeah, we get all the time. We get once a month.
So the one, I'd say he would have got Maya cocktail.
Yeah, I think so too. Maya cocktail is just the all-rounder kind of like cocktail of boost. Yeah, Dr. John Mayer discovered this 50 years ago.
Okay.
And it make it big with Hollywood celebrities. They want to get better, go with the hangover the next day because they have the show, they have work that they attend to.
The hangover cure.
The hangover cure. Yeah. So basically, this Maya cocktail contains high dose of vitamin C, high dose of vitamin B, magnesium, and
so vitamin and minerals
and calcium.
And calcium. Okay. NAD is the interesting one, and I want to just sort of preface a little bit about NAD. It's been around a long time.
A long time.
Everyone's born with NAD.
Exactly.
100% NAD. You can pronounce it. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce the name because it's about that long.
Nicotinamide adenine.
Okay, there you go.
Dinucleotide.
There you go. That's what it's called. NAD.
Yeah.
He had NAD plus, right?
And they had drip. Same way. Yeah.
Okay, so he belted himself. He said 3 days he was on NAD. Now, what actually happens with NAD when we're born with 100% NAD.
Exactly.
And as we get older, we get less and less and less.
Yes.
But what NAD does, it promotes cell growth of the cells that produce the energy and the healing in the body. So Joe Rogan's 54. I'm older than Joe Rogan by 5 years, so I'm 59 years old.
Yes.
Right. So seriously, I should have less than 20% NAD left in my body. So if I actually happen to have, not done NAD, my NAD is very high now because I'm, a semi-athlete. I train all the time, and I take preventative.
That's right. And
measures.
They say within 8 hours, right, of you taking NAD.
Within 8 hours of taking NAD, you can have 33% more.
That's right.
NAD cells producing in your body, right?
Yes, because then you see that usually when you see in elderly, right, the responsive of that thought or their processing, the memory is a lot slower because they lack of this.
Sorry?
What's your
What'd you
name?
say? What's your name?
Yeah, basically the NAD is a critical coenzyme found in every cell in your body.
Yeah.
So it's very, very crucial.
Yeah, so recently I had 10
IU,
yeah.
of NAD.
It's really expensive too.
Very, very
Oh my God,
expensive,
it's so
yeah.
expensive. And we were lucky enough to have some friends who are physicians who were able to give it to us at a reasonable price, but it was even still really expensive.
Exactly.
And what I was after was cognitive, better brain, memory.
Overall booster. Basically,
yeah.
you reverse the cell, the age
Yeah.
of the cell in your body, so everybody function better.
But I definitely noticed that.
Yes.
I could remember things more sharper and, just a little bit on it, a bit better than I was prior to that.
Yes, I did it myself as well. NAD for me is just for immunity, to boost my immune system.
So Rogan would have taken this to have just given him a bit of a boost.
Yes.
And to create more cells to fight
Yes.
the infection.
Yeah, we go back to the IV drip, with vitamin C that help with infections.
Right.
And, vitamin B would help with recovery. Magnesium help with, fatigue and everything. So let's talk about if you get sick on the day-to-day basis, you get sick. And you probably, when you get sick, you don't feel like eating.
Right.
And you go to hospital, just get the saline drip. You feel better already, right? Because
Right.
you just so dehydrated. You kind of like lack of nutrient. Just by get the drip at the hospital, you feel a little bit better already. Imagine with all this vitamin on top of it and NAD on top of this. You're going to recover, you're going to feel better a lot faster just on this alone.
12 months ago, I got dengue fever.
Yes.
And I spent 8 days in hospital. And it just smashed me to smithereens, right?
Yes.
Dengue's not like COVID in the way it affects people. Dengue affects people the same. It doesn't matter how healthy you are.
That's right. If you get it,
You're
get
gone,
it. Yeah.
right? But back to the saline, that's what reminded me, because all they did, they just put saline in me.
Yes.
I lay in bed on saline drip.
Because you couldn't eat at all.
No. Yeah, this thing's been around for a couple of years.
Yes.
COVID, so,
We know better now. We know better now how to deal with it. And I think a lot of people, a lot of country now, they learn to live with it, that it's everywhere. Eventually, everybody going to get one. And in most countries, like in the UK, in Europe, or in America, nobody even wear masks anymore. So you don't need to respond so crazy like this.
Celebrities do crazy stuff.
Yes.
Do you think Joe Rogan has a manager or someone that would have sat him down and said, or he was probably laying down at the time, Joe, you're about to release a video to 17 million people, plus it's going to blow up. Do you think it's responsible to mention all these drugs? But maybe he doesn't care.
Yeah, maybe he doesn't care.
I don't care.
But
I'm
you know
Joe
what?
Rogan.
One thing I know about Hollywood, they always have to say that no such thing as bad publicity.
Oh, yeah. But
So
yeah.
you get where you can. That they only make sense. They all just make sense.
Or he freaked out.
Yeah, or super
He
freaked
doesn't.
out.
Joe Rogan doesn't seem like someone who freaks out.
Exactly. He seemed,
Yeah.
cool and collected kind of guy.
Most of the time, I like him. I like he's a bloke.
Maybe he didn't think about it. He just think,
Maybe he just took the camera outside and went, like maybe it was really that spontaneous.
Yes.
We do that.
yes.
Yeah.
Maybe he get to respond to our podcast. Is that like, who are these two? Challenge me, but...
Yeah, no, I don't think Joe Rogan's going to be seeing this anyway.
But anyway,
that's
this is
cool.
from our wellness perspective.
Yeah.
I guess it's all about your immune system, about you build up your immune system.
Yeah, and if you get, if you think you're getting COVID-19, you go to a physician. You go and get it
Exactly.
treated. You don't muck around with this thing.
Yeah, the COVID-19 is just a new strain
Yeah.
of cold.
Yeah.
When most people get it, they just have like a cold kind of like symptoms.
Yeah. Well, it's a new strain of SARS.
Yes.
Yeah, which is a very intense. Can be if it gets into your respiratory system, but most of the time it doesn't. Right?
Doesn't. If you're healthy and you're strong, you have a good immune system, it won't go to your
Yeah,
lung.
just seek medical attention, and prior to that, try and build your immune system up, which leads me to the next thing. We are going to talk about that. We're going to talk about many natural ways you can build
Yes.
your immune system
About
up
natural supplements, that boost your immune system.
in another podcast, right?
Yes.
And if you want to subscribe to our channel, you can at New Leaf Wellness Podcast on Instagram, YouTube, and Facebook.
With the same name.
With the same name,
Yes.
New Leaf Wellness Podcast.
Yes.
All right.
Thank you for today.
Yeah, and thanks to all the Joe Rogan fans too. Don't hate on us. We like him.
Yes, yes.
Yeah, good to see you.
Good to see you.
See you next time.
บ๊ายบาย ขอบคุณค่ะ
สวัสดีครับ